Hi, I'm Zach, and this is Challenger Vedic Astrology and Tarot. Welcome to the channel. So, today we're talking about the Lunar Eclipse, which will be taking place in Pisces, September 18th of this year. Alright, so, if you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps out me in the channel. And to be notified whenever I release a new video, be sure to hit the bell icon and select all. If you'd like a Vedic Sidereal birth chart, a personal tarot reading, or an astrology consultation, the links to those will be in the description box and the comments below. And if you'd like to donate to help support the channel, the links to those will be in the description box as well. Okay, so this is going to be all signs predictions. These are your Vedic Sidereal placements, not your Western Tropical. So, make sure that you're going off of Vedic Sidereal, otherwise it's going to be wrong. We look from your Sidereal Ascendant, that's your overall path in life. We look from your Moon, that's your mind and your emotions, it's how you think and feel about the world. And we look from your Sun, because Sun is the original soul significator. So, what is your soul experiencing? We look from these three areas. These three placements. Okay. But if you don't know your Vedic Sidereal placements, you can look up a Vedic Sidereal birth chart calculator online or get a much more detailed birth chart from my website. Okay. So, this lunar eclipse will be taking place September 18th in the sign of Pisces. Now, a lunar eclipse is when there's a full moon taking place in the axis of Rahu and Ketu. For those that follow Western tropical astrology, this is the north or south node of the moon, respectively. Now, the moon is your mind and emotions. So now the mind and emotions are being eclipsed. So we see there will be a significant emotional event. Something significant that's going to have you thinking. Hopefully not reeling. Now, usually I talk about, sun's transit when we talk about new moons and full moons, or in this case, lunar eclipses and solar eclipses. But for this one, I decided to separate them. Solar eclipse and sun's transit, since they take place in the same house. I figured I'd make that its own video this time. Alright. But let's dig into the lunar eclipse. We're going to be looking, at all signs. So let's get into it. Okay, Aries, kicking us off with you like always. So, Sun is going to be moving into the sign of Virgo, of course, with Moon being opposite in the sign of Pisces. So, this is where the lunar eclipse will be taking place, because Moon is going to be with Rahu. This will be in your 12th house. Now, this will be September 18th. Pretty much wherever you are in the world, that's when this is going to be felt. Now, this is going to take place in Pisces, your 12th house. Now, 12th house is the house of losses. It's the house of bed pleasure, sex, and sleep. It's spirituality. It's isolation. Anywhere you feel isolated. Jails, hospitals, asylums, monasteries. It's foreign people, foreign lands, multinational companies. It's foreign travel, of course, as well. Now, by losses, I mean all kinds of losses, including financial. Now, it's also a house of investments, though, because you have to temporarily lose money to make money when you're investing. Alright. But with this lunar eclipse, we clearly see that there's going to be some emotional, upset. Now, this could be very good heightened emotions, or this could be bad. In this house, maybe you're traveling. Going to a foreign country. Maybe you're becoming more spiritual. Having a bit of a spiritual awakening. With Rahu here, that could clearly be the case. Remember, Rahu is foreign, so definitely foreign travel. But Rahu is also desires. Rahu's obsessive. So obsessing about the 12th house, that can be spirituality. Or, maybe it's on kind of the opposite end. Bed pleasure, getting laid. Could also be that. If so, congrats. Either way. Alright, but you may also feel very isolated and alone. 12th house could have you feeling that way as well. You could be dealing with losses. Whether, you lost a family member or, you're having financial losses. Those things could be taking place as well. You could have some health issue where you need to go to a hospital to get checked. Or, see a doctor. Or there could be some big investment that's really starting to grow. So, this isn't all bad. There can be positives with this. But, bare minimum, we see these heightened emotions tied to this house. Also, this house is fourth from the 9th house. So, those of you whose, your father's mother is still alive, your grandmother on your father's side, there could be something going on with them as well. 12th house can represent, like I said, your grandmother on your father's side. Okay. But yeah, that's what I have for you, Aries. Moving on to Taurus. Okay, Taurus. So, Sun is moving into Virgo. The lunar eclipse is always opposite. So this will be in the sign of Pisces, your 11th house, with Rahu. And Neptune, of course, but outer planets are the last things I look at. Now, this shows there's going to be some heightened emotions tied to your 11th house. So 11th house is your older siblings. It's your paternal aunts and uncles. It's your friends. It's your network circles. It's large organizations, large gatherings. It's stock market. It's hopes, wishes, desires. It's gains. So, this is where you're going to have these heightened emotions. Maybe you have a lot going on with your friends. Maybe you're going to some big event on September 18th. Maybe there's something going on with your older siblings. There could be some large organization that you're struggling with. Or there could be, hopes, wishes, and desires being fulfilled. And that has you ecstatic, feeling those heightened emotions in a positive way. But that's what I have for you, Taurus. Definitely, 11th house does have some good things to it. So, hopefully it'll be positive. Alright, moving on to Gemini. Gemini. For you, the lunar eclipse will be taking place in your 10th house in Pisces, because the lunar eclipse is always opposite the sun. Okay. So, Moon is going to be with Rahu in the 10th house. 10th house is your career. It's your status. It's your workplace, your managers, your bosses. It's government, especially national government. So, with this, we see there's going to be heightened emotions tied to this house. Now, one thing I want to point out, for those of you who are retired, 10th house is still relevant because it's the highest house of karma. It's our karmic actions that the world notices. So even if you're retired, this is still relevant. Because we all have karma that we perform in this world. So, these heightened emotions. Maybe, you're gaining status. Maybe you're starting to be noticed by people in the world. Finally feeling like you're being respected, admired. Maybe you're getting a promotion at work. Maybe there's something going on with your managers or bosses and there's a shakeup. Maybe a manager's being transferred and you're getting a new manager. Or, a manager's quitting and you're being promoted. These are the kinds of things we can see here. There could also be something going on with your government that's fairly significant. Now, depending on where you are in the world, that could be anything. I have no idea. But that's something we can see with this as well. Now, 10th house, I don't know why I feel the need to specifically mention this, but 10th house is also the niece. So there could be some health issue with your niece. I usually don't feel the need to mention that, but for some reason I do for you, Gemini. Okay. But yeah, so this is what we see with this. There can also be something, like I said, managers, bosses, but also your workplace and your career. For most of you, this is probably going to be tied to your career. Hopefully it's for the better, but these heightened emotions can be positive or negative. So, hopefully it's positive. Alright, moving on to Cancer. Cancer. Sun is going to move into Virgo. And this lunar eclipse is always opposite. So, in this case, it'll be in Pisces. With Rahu and with Neptune. In your 9th house. So, a lunar eclipse is when there are heightened emotions. Those can be negative or positive. Now, 9th house is your father figures. It's your teachers, mentors, gurus. It's higher education. Like education beyond a bachelor's degree. But in general, you can see education with it. It's religion, philosophy, the law. It's pilgrimage. It's publishing. So, with this 9th house. Oh, sorry. Nearly forgot. By pilgrimage, also long distance travel. Okay. So, we see that there's going to be some significant emotions tied to this house. So, maybe there's something going on with your father. Maybe you're, finally, visiting your father. You haven't seen him in a while. Maybe he's having some kind of health issue. Maybe you're learning something really significant from your teacher, your mentor. Maybe you're traveling, seeing more of the world. Maybe your religious, philosophical, or even legal views are changing. Maybe you're involved in a legal matter. Maybe you're publishing an article or a book. But yeah, overall, 9th house is a very good house. So this should be a good lunar eclipse for you. Hopefully. Alright, that's what I have for you, Cancer. Moving on to Leo. Leo. Sun is going to move into your 2nd house. But we're talking about the lunar eclipse here. And it's always opposite the sun. So, Moon is in your 8th house with Neptune and with Rahu. Now, there will be a lunar eclipse here. Lunar eclipse is heightened emotions, both negative and positive. So this can go either way. Now, 8th house. 8th house is sex. 8th house is the occult. 8th house is research. 8th house is your psychological baggage. It's joint finances and relationships and in business. It's other people's money. It's your in-laws. It's death, wills, estates, legacies, inheritance. It's sudden ups and downs and transformation, and it's also surgeries. So, there can be a sudden event that takes place here. Now, hopefully, that's in a more positive direction. Maybe you find out you need a surgery. Maybe there's something significant that happens with your in-laws. Or maybe there's some issue with your joint finances. Maybe your spouse has been spending too much money. Maybe you're having sex. Maybe something's going good in your research or in learning more occult knowledge. Maybe there's some positive transformation in your life that happens real suddenly. But these are the kinds of things that we can see with this. Alright. That's what I have for you, Leo. Moving on to Virgo. Virgo, 1 second. I need a drink. Okay. So, Virgo. Sun is moving into your sign. But the lunar eclipse is always opposite the sun. So Moon is going to be with Neptune and Rahu in your 7th house. Now, a lunar eclipse is when emotions are at their highest. You're hitting emotional peaks or troughs here. So this can lean either bad or good, sad or happy. Now, this is tied to the 7th house. So 7th house is the masses. It's all the people you deal with out in the world. It's also relationships, marriage, business partner. So, there's going to be heightened emotions tied to this house. Maybe you're dealing with a lot of people. Going to some large gathering or something like that. Just meeting a lot of people on September 18th. There could also be something significant going on with your business. Or maybe you're starting a relationship. Or if you're already in a relationship, hopefully things are going well. But there can be something emotional that comes up. Either for you in the relationship or for your partner. Okay. That's what I have for you, Virgo. Moving on to Libra. Okay, Libra. So, Sun has moved into Virgo. Now, we're talking about the lunar eclipse, which is always opposite the sun. So this will be in Pisces, in your 6th house. And Moon will be here with Neptune and Rahu. Now, a lunar eclipse is heightened emotions. So, these can either be negative emotions or positive. Now, 6th house. 6th house is your maternal aunts and uncles. It's your coworkers. It's your enemies. It's your pets. It's health issues, accidents. It's debt. It's your everyday work, everyday routines. It's your unchangeable karma. This is the one house where free will doesn't get a say. So, with this, we see that there's going to be these heightened emotions tied to this house. Oh, I forgot. This house is also tied to competition, so sports can be seen with the 6th house. Okay. And legal disputes. Fights. Okay. So, these heightened emotions will be tied to this house. Maybe you're getting a pet. Getting a puppy. Or kitten. Or you're adopting an older animal. Now, you could also have conflict with an enemy. There could be something going on at work. There could be some debt you're taking on, or hopefully paying off. There could be something going on with your maternal aunts and uncles. Maybe it's their birthday or something. Maybe you just haven't seen them in a while. There could also be some kind of health issue or accident, so be careful. In particular, Moon's going to be in the nakshatra of Purva Bhadrapada. This is tied to leg injuries, so in particular, be careful, especially, like walking up and down stairs, things like that. For you, I feel the need to mention this. Although I think I mentioned something like that for another sign. I didn't even realize Moon was going to be in that nakshatra. But, that's how this works. Alright. But yeah, overall, this can be positive. Maybe you're winning some kind of competition or something. But there will be heightened emotions tied to this house. Like I said, they can be negative, but they can also be positive. Alright. That's what I have for you, Libra. Moving on to Scorpio. Scorpio. So, Sun has moved into your 11th house in the sign of Virgo. But we're talking about the lunar eclipse, which will be taking place in Pisces with Rahu and Neptune. One second, I need a drink and then we'll talk about it. Okay. So, lunar eclipse is when there are heightened emotions. Now, these emotions could be negative or positive. And the fifth house is the house of romance, fun and games. It's a house of children, students, subordinates. It's a house of education. It's a house of creativity, arts, media. It's a house of sports. It's a house of politics. It's also 8th from the 10th house. The sun change and transformation of the career. So we can also see change of job is tied to the 5th house. 5th house is also the house of speculative gains through stock market, through gambling, through business. So, we see there's going to be heightened emotions tied to this. Maybe you're beginning a new romance. Maybe there's something going on with your kids. Maybe you're pursuing education. Hopefully you're getting speculative gains through business. But there could also be something going on with your students, your subordinates. Maybe you're getting involved in politics. Becoming more political. Hopefully making the world a better place. Hopefully. Alright, that's what I have for you, Scorpio. Moving on to Sagittarius. Okay, Sagittarius. So, Sun has moved into Virgo, your 10th house. But we're focusing on the lunar eclipse today. The lunar eclipse always takes place in the opposite house from the sun. So, this will be in Pisces, your 4th house, with Neptune and Rahu. So, with this, what we see is there will be heightened emotions. Now, these emotions can be negative or positive. That's going to depend on each individual and their karma. So, 4th house. 4th house is mother figures. It's home, land, real estate. It's vehicles. It's your car. It's your comfort and your happiness. So, with this, we see there's going to be heightened emotions here. Maybe there's something going on with your mom. Maybe you haven't visited her in a while, and you're finally getting to see her. Maybe you're getting a new home. Maybe you find out that your home really needs renovated. Really needs something repaired. Maybe your car is broken down. You gotta get a new one or get that one fixed. Maybe you're really happy on this day. But these are the kinds of things that we can see here, Sagittarius. Alright, moving on to Capricorn. Alright, Capricorn. 1 second. I need a drink. Okay. Alright, Capricorn. So, Sun has moved into Virgo. But our focus is on the lunar eclipse today, which is always opposite. So in this case, in the sign of Pisces. Now, Pisces is your 3rd house, and Moon will be here with Neptune and Rahu. Now, when there's a lunar eclipse, emotions are at their peak. So, those peaks can either be positive or negative. Now, third house is your younger siblings. It's your cousins, your neighbors. It's social media. It's the internet. It's the higher form of sun ups and downs and transformation because it's 8th from the 8th. Transformation through self-effort. So third house is also the house of effort. It's communication of all kinds, including writing. It's travel, mainly short distance travel, but it's also 12th from the 4th house, furthest place away from your homeland. Third house is also sports. It's art. It's your skills. So, with this lunar eclipse taking place here, maybe there's something going on with your younger siblings. Maybe you haven't talked to them in a while and you're finally, getting the chance to. Maybe there's some conflict with a neighbor. Maybe you're learning a new skill. Maybe you're creating some kind of art or competing in sports. But there can also be some big transformation that takes place in your life during this transit, during this lunar eclipse. You could also be traveling, especially with Sun moving into your 9th house. We can see that. Alright. But that's what I have for you, Capricorn. Moving on to Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius. So, Sun has moved into your 8th house. But we're focused on a lunar eclipse, which is always opposite the Sun. And this will be in Pisces, your 2nd house. Moon's going to be with Neptune and Rahu. So, this is a lunar eclipse. Lunar eclipse is when emotions are at their peak. Now, these can be negative or positive, depending on your karma. So, 2nd house is family. It's your earnings, your savings. So it's a house of finances and banking. It's also speech. It's your face. So, what can we see with this? Well, there could be something going on with your family. Either something very good or, more negative. You could be making more money. Or there could be some issue with your bank account. You could have some teeth issue going on. Or maybe, you need new glasses. Remember, 2nd house is the face, so the eyes. But these are the kinds of things that we can see with this. 2nd house, for the most part, is a pretty simple house. Alright, that's what I have for you, Aquarius. Moving on to Pisces. Okay, Pisces. So, Sun is transiting into your 7th house. But the lunar eclipse is what we're focused on. And that's always opposite the Sun. So, Moon's going to be with Neptune and Rahu in your 1st house. Well, this is a lunar eclipse. So here we see emotions are at their peak. They're at their fullest. Now these can be negative or positive. Now, 1st house is you. It's your overall path in life. It's your physical body. So here we see you are going to be very emotional. More so than most of the other signs. There could be a big change with you. With your personality. With your overall goals in life. With what you want. There could be a change in your physical health. Hopefully for the better. But this is going to be an eclipse that really changes you and your life. Especially on the emotional and mental level. Because it's the moon being eclipsed. Alright. That's what I have for you, Pisces. Okay. But yeah, so that's what I have for all of you. The next transit video, I will go into the solar eclipse and sun's transit in Virgo in more detail. But yeah, hopefully you all have liked this video. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe. Really helps out me in the channel. And to be notified whenever I release a new video, be sure to hit the bell icon and select all. If you'd like a Vedic Sidereal birth chart, a personal tarot reading, or an astrology consultation, the links to those will be in the description box and the comments below. And if you'd like to donate to help support the channel, the links to those will be in the description box as well. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.